Welcome to the greatest podcast in sports betting entertainment. My name is Tanner Kern, certified G, bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. In this right here, this is G Money Grant Mitchell. We are here breaking down everything going on in the NFL, including Grant's favorite receiver, Terry McLaurin, being an absolute prick to his teammates. And you can't teach that. Bada boom, man, the people in the room. G Money Grant Mitchell, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, it's 8 a.m. right about as we're recording this. It's one of these days that I'm glad to be working from home, working inside, because, again, 8 a.m., it's probably already 90 degrees outside, hot, humid. Felt like last summer was pretty brutal. Seems like we're getting off to that same sort of start. But you know what? I guess I would rather it be sunny and I'd be able to go outside versus it be snowing everywhere and I can't leave the house because I can't get my car to go anywhere. So I'm not going to complain, but thankful to be in air conditioning.
It's like 100 degrees here in Vegas. Sitting out in Vegas, playing at Hollywood Casino. Got beat up as soon as I walked in the door here. But I'm here right now, and I'm feeling good. We're recording Ride the Line. Can't get better than that. But yeah, it's pretty hot here in Vegas. But it's dry heat out here. I like the dry heat.
Have you ever thought of doing vlogs? Because you do travel a lot.
No, because I don't feel comfortable walking around with a camera.
Like walking around, holding it out on yourself.
Well, it's like, I don't mind being on camera, but what am I going to talk about? Yeah, I just went over here and took a dump, went over here and played blackjack. I don't think it's that interesting. You know, I could do stuff minute long shorts of, hey, here's a tour of this place and, you're VOing a TikTok, but just to do it live, it doesn't really fit my style.
Yeah, something like I don't know if a time lapse is the right word, but a video that's just played on 5:10 speed where you document here's how I got to the casino and you just show clips on the plane and stuff like that. That could be cool.
So I was at the casino and I would get 20 and then they would get 21 on a bus card. They would pull 6, 10, 5. And I was like, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. So I did that. And then I lost. I hammered a bunch of WNBA bets to get my money back, and that's not what you should do. But we all suffer from chasing losses sometimes. So I did that. And the WNBA girls, I played who was it? They're so bad I think the Seattle Storm were playing your team, the Washington Mystics, or the Mystics. Okay, and the Mystics should be ashamed of themselves. They were up 4 at the half, and they were a 8-point dog, up 4 at the half. And they only scored 20 points in the second half. They scored 12. Or they might have scored 24. They 12 and 12, and they got beat by 12 in each quarter. So they got dominated.
Well, I mean, it's that time of year, like you said. Chasing losses never a good thing, but it's we're just wanting something in the sports world so bad that I don't blame you for trying to cling on to it.
We got preseason football Thursday night, too, which is very exciting as well. Some sad news out of the NFL headquarters yesterday, Grant. We had the shooter there. Just crazy to see. Very sad.
Yeah, the suspect, Shane Tamura, said the police said that he has a documented history of mental health issues. He apparently walked up to, I don't know if it was the NFL headquarters. I think it was just a regular building, and he went up, he shot an off-duty police officer who was working as a security guard at the front desk. That person died. Went up to the 33rd floor, I think he shot and killed 4 people. Also seriously injured an NFL office employee, and then he ended up killing himself. So I think he killed himself. Yeah, he did. Okay, just want to make sure. I'm glancing at an article right now, and I didn't catch it, but I thought that's what had happened. He was 27 years old. He had a note in his pocket that he said he thought he suffered from CTE. He asked for his brain to be studied after he had passed. He twice had been checked into a mental health facility. He'd actually had mental health crisis holds in 22 and 24. That allows a person to be detained for up to 72 hours if they are thought to be a danger to themselves or other people. Very sad story. And since it does involve the NFL, we thought we would talk about it. And bottom line, if you're struggling with anything, whether you think it's minor, whether you think it's severe, go get help. You know, this guy tried. He got checked in twice, and still a tragedy for him and 5 other people now, and everyone involved. So
the NFL headquarters on floors 5 to 8 there, and he went up to so I don't know why he went up to 33 if he didn't know what floor the NFL was on, but NFL was 5 to 8. I saw that this morning, and he was also a Las Vegas casino security officer, which is kind of scary too.
Yeah, and he got his concealed carrier's permit the same year that he was checked or put on this mental health crisis hold. So, yeah, scary situation all around. Prayers to everyone involved. And again, if you need help, go get checked out.
Yep.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness.
Nope. So anyways, guys, ride the line. Greatest podcast and sports betting entertainment. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Hammer the subscribe button. Like, comment. You've been doing it the past 2 shows. Let's keep it up. Keep it up, people. Also, the World Sports Network, Grant, the greatest sports network. Tell the people about the World Sports Network, which we're presented by.
Yeah, 100%. The last 2 episodes we've been cooking, and we're also cooking over at WSN.com. Tanner and myself and the team, we are getting ready for the NFL season. You know, we got the Hall of Fame game coming up, like Tanner said, pretty soon. You go to WSN.com, you're going to get picks against the spread for every preseason game. You're going to get that every week throughout the NFL season, plus primetime parlays. We got futures odds. We got bonus codes for sports books that allows you to get things like bonus bets and profit boosts. A whole lot of great stuff is going on at WSN.com. And if you don't want to take our word for it, go check it out for yourself.
Yeah, make sure you guys check it out. It is the best. We get the Hall of Fame game too, Grant. Before we get into what we're talking about today, let's talk about the Hall of Fame game for a minute. If you bet on the Hall of Fame game, you know, there's that joke that goes around. Bet on the Hall of Fame game, call the number, which is not true. But you know what? That was more, I think, like early gambling days, like that joke. Like that joke's kind of faded. A lot of people bet on the Hall of Fame game. I don't know how you get any read on it. Like my buddy texted me yesterday. He's like, I love the Lions on Thursday night. Like you cannot love either team here. All right. You don't, these are the kids that played at 1AA schools that are getting cut at the first cut that are going to grind in this game. They're going to play hard. Don't get me wrong, but you don't know which ones are better. You also, the Lions got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. I know they play vanilla, but it's still a new coordinators. So it's really hard.
I've heard a lot of people actually say that, like you said, that phrase called the numbers kind of outdated because you can actually get strong leans in the preseason. You have to be very in the know, I guess. And I'm not going to call myself an NFL preseason expert, but I have heard people say that.
But you know what? Are they actually serious? Like half the people that say that too are the ones who are selling picks on TikTok. You know, like preseason's the way to go. Like I think you can see, hey, this quarterback's going to play 3 quarters. And if you get on that news early and this starting quarterback's going to play a quarter, yeah, maybe you can get a little bit of an edge there. But I think it's really hard to get an edge knowing most of these guys. Like the preseason has become totally different. It used to be a warm up for the season. Like guys played in the preseason. Now with these games, we get the starters maybe for a half of the second game and that we don't see them again. Like they're good. They play in practice, they scrimmage, they have joint practices. We don't see them on the field, which is sad because back in the day, man, I remember I went to a Patriots game. Like I saw Tom Brady for like 3 quarters and it was like year 10, you know?
Yeah, and some quarterbacks too. Stafford, McVay and Stafford, I think were the first ones where it's like we're not playing starters at all in the preseason. And then Brady and might have been Rodgers. There was some vets who were like, no, I want to play like at least a half. I want to feel like I've actually played in an NFL game before I get to week 1.
Yeah, and there's no blitzing. There's very little. It's all vanilla stuff because half these teams, you know, the schedule too. Like the Buccaneers are playing the Bills in the preseason. They play each other in the regular season. Like that should be a no-no. We should not have any combined games. Yeah.
From what I remember, back like when I was a kid, I remember it was like you only played teams in the preseason that you did not play in the regular season.
Well, I think it times out like that sometimes. You know, like it's crazy though. I mean, the Bucks got the Bills on August 23rd, and then they play the Bills on November 16th too, which is crazy.
To be fair, a lot of time will have passed between then.
Yeah, and it's preseason. Like I'm sure the starters won't even play that final week of the season, but it is scheduling wise, NFL. Be better.
I would take the Lions. I'm not betting on the game. I'm just going to say this is not betting advice. I'm not betting on the game, but I would take the Lions. If I'm looking at a quarterback matchup of Taylor Heineke and Trey Lance against Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen, I like the Lions side of that thing.
I agree, but I don't even know if you're going to get those guys. That's the thing. You probably get Trey Lance. I don't even think you get Taylor Heineke. You get DJ Uyunglele for the Chargers, who he could be the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. So just off that alone, I would take the Lions. Who's the Lions' 4th?
I don't know who their 4th is, but Hendon Hooker's their 2nd. And I would expect him to play because this is only his second year in the NFL. So you probably want to get a young guy reps, even though it's the preseason. Like, it's a young guy, but he's not your starter. So you probably want him out there.
He had a good preseason last year too, didn't he? He was like, I thought he was like running over people.
Well, he was amazing in college. His final, so he did 3 years at VT, right there, and then he did 2 at Tennessee. His final 2 years at Tennessee, he's 58 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
So those Tennessee quarterbacks. Did you see? What's his name? I don't know. He's so irrelevant. He's at UCLA now. Nico. You see Nico? He's like had nothing to do with money. Like, I just want to go home. Like, stop it. Come on, man. And I know you're a kid, and I know these kids are under a lot more scrutiny because they're making money now, and he's just a kid. Like, in the end of the day, like, he is a kid. But come on, like, no, you were getting on that PJ flying out to UCLA because it wasn't UCLA. I know he went there, but I think he was going all over for visits.
Yeah, he got offered like, I think it was 2.3 million or something like that, and he wanted 4. He was demanding 4, and he thought that he could get it. And I want to say like Tulane might have been in the running at one point. The point was there were a lot of schools that he thought he would get more than what Tennessee was offering him, and then UCLA gave him like 1 million because they were the highest bidder of the schools that were actually interested.
Yeah, DJU though. Big game for him this week. I don't know why all these bad like Nico. Like, Nico is not a great quarterback in my mind, and I know he was only a freshman last year, so that pops into my head about like DJU being a bad quarterback. Like, I don't know how that kid is even in the NFL, even if he plays this week in the preseason.
Well, it's because he was a 5-star. He's got the physical frame. He had a solid year at Clemson. Like that. That's why you just
I don't even know though. I don't know how he did that.
I mean, he was a good football player at one point. I don't know what changed. I don't know if it was a preparation. I don't know if it was confidence.
He was a good football player. He was so good that Clemson wanted him out. I think that's how good he was.
Well, yeah, that is true. That's a good point.
Yeah, like I don't think, or Dabo wasn't giving him the NIL money he wanted. So who knows? He signed before NIL though. He was pre-NIL. Yeah.
They switched to Klubnik before NIL.
All right, Grant. So let's talk about Terry McLaurin a little bit. Oh no, you know what we need to talk about first? Honestly, sorry, I know we're jumping over. We need to talk about Christian Wilkins kissing the dude and getting cut.
Oh.
We forgot to bring that up in the pre-production meeting. My God.
Do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
Well, I'll start.
Okay. This could be trouble.
There were a lot of videos that circulated after the fact about like there was a video I saw of him at Clemson. Like, he basically stuck his finger up the dude's butt on the field. Like,
Did you see the one of him doing the split?
Yes, the split, but I'm not as concerned about the split. He's celebrating there, but like grabbing the dude's crotch. Like, I saw there was one where he grabbed a quarterback's crotch. Like, this man was on a 4-year, I think $110 million deal with the Raiders in the second year of it. Now, he also, apparently he had to get foot surgery. The Raiders wanted him to get surgery. He didn't want to get surgery, kind of thing.
He was like it was more than twice as long as the estimated recovery window, and he still wasn't healthy.
Yeah, so that was the biggest issue there. So now, him kissing the guy on the forehead, I don't think you get cut for that. Like, if you're a good locker room guy, like, that shouldn't creep. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a little weird to do, but like, if you're a good locker room guy, you wouldn't get cut for that. Obviously, this was just like the final straw, and there's probably a little more to it than just he kissed the guy on the top of the head and got cut. He obviously was not really favorable in the locker room. That's how I would say it, because you're not cutting a guy who's on a 4-year, $110 million deal unless you're sick of his bullshit. And obviously, between the injury and between his locker room antics, like, that's probably why he got cut.
There was a former teammate of his, and I wish I could remember who it was, but they hopped on Twitter and said he's always been a little freaky. And it's like, I get that you don't get cut for that, but to your point, maybe you're just not a great culture guy, and if you're not taking your rehab seriously and the team has questions about you, you're gonna get cut.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue. And I do think kissing the guy on top of the head. But you know what's crazy? Schefter, reported on McAfee yesterday, and then like he was like, this is the story that isn't being talked about. Maybe it wasn't at the time, but like then everybody, like that was what I saw all over the internet.
Yeah.
And Schefter was like, yeah, this is nobody's talking about this. Like everybody's talking about that, Shefty.
It's definitely a cultural thing. Like I watch soccer. You don't watch soccer. A lot of players, specifically the South Americans, like if a teammate scores a goal, they might run over and kiss them on like the back of the head or like the top of the head. Like they jump on each other and they just give them a little. And it's weird to me because that's not my culture, but to them it's probably normal and it's part of their culture. But our culture is our culture. Christian Wilkins, as far as I know, is American, and he went to Clemson, and he's in Vegas, and like he's been around long enough. He's been in enough locker rooms to know kind of what is normal behavior and what's not. And if someone has a problem with it, if you create a problem in the locker room, you have to be the one to solve it. And I am just assuming, based off the reporting, there wasn't an attempt to resolve anything, and it just kind of fractured.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be just going around kissing people in the locker room. That's crazy. You can't do that. I mean, that's an HR issue. Like in the end of the day, like I think people forget that the NFL is a business, and like these guys are team employees. Like they are as employee as the accountant to the local I don't know, restaurant. But so like when you get a dude coming around the locker room kissing you on top of the head, that's not really a comfortable work environment either.
No, it's an unwanted advance would be the HR term.
The Raiders HR people, they had Gruden and Gary Grant. Gruden didn't have much. Their HR, like that didn't happen. That didn't happen then. So I'm sure the HR just got fired.
Yeah, that was a PR. That was a PR thing.
That was more PR, I guess. But like they definitely dealt with that, and now they got to deal with this. So that they're working for their money over here in Las Vegas.
They need Derek Carr back, a nice religious man to reinstill some value into the locker room.
Yeah, I agree with that. Derek Carr can't win, but you know what? You're going to learn about Jesus, so you're in good shape. All right, so now we'll go to your guy, Grant, Terry McLaurin. This pretty selfish, honestly. Like the dude gets a little taste of winning. You beat these guys down. The Commanders just get their ass kicked year after year after year. Redskins, Commanders, Washington football team. Every iteration of this Washington fake franchise has just been beaten and pummeled into the ground. You got Terry McLaurin, who's just like the cornerstone of getting pummeled into the ground. Like that's your guy. And now he gets a little taste of the spotlight and he wants this big contract. It's not the Washington football team, Commander, Redskin, rich tradition history way, Grant. I'm very disappointed in him.
I'm extremely disappointed in Terry McLaurin. It's selfish and it hurts the most because this is not who Terry has been throughout his career. This franchise has just been in the dumpster. You've had sewage leaking at the stadium. They had the Sean Taylor Memorial, which is just a wireframe mannequin from a cheap department store with soccer cleats on it. Throughout all of it, Terry McLaurin was a model citizen. He was like the best teammate in the entire NFL. And as soon as you win some games, now you're going to try to hold the team's feet to the fire. And to their credit, they're saying, screw off. We're not paying you. Schefter said on McAfee the other day that he wants considerably more than DK Metcalf's deal. Now, this is what Schefter thinks, but Schefter's pretty plugged in. And I would assume he knows what he's talking about. DK Metcalf has the fourth highest contract in the league, $33 million a year. What's considerably more than that? 35, 36? That would make Terry the second highest paid receiver in the league. He's going to be 30 in the first month of the NFL season. He's never caught 1,200 yards in 1 year. He had 13 touchdowns last year because Jaden Daniels was so great. Before that, it was 4 touchdowns. He's never had more than 82 receptions. Sorry, he had 87 in 2020. He had 82 last year. That was 19th in the league. Like, yeah, he's a great player. Is he a phenomenal player? Is he one of the gods? Is he the Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, who he's trying to get paid like? Not even remotely close.
Not even close.
It hurts as a team because, like you said, he was such an upstanding model citizen. And as soon as there's a bit of success, he's trying to use that to force the team to pay him. It's almost like, hey, you're in your Super Bowl window. You're not going to win without me, so you need to pay me. And the Commanders are saying, we're not doing it.
3 years, $68.3 million. He's scheduled to make $25.5 million this year. Next year, he's an undrafted free agent. So he's in a contract season. My biggest thing is
real quick, that 25, that might be his cap hit, but I think he's
Okay.
actually only making like 18 million this year.
Yeah, that's his cap hit. Yep. So he's making 20.
I think it was
15.5.
19.7. It was 19.7, but then he had some fines for missing camp and stuff, and he lost a $500,000 workout bonus. So it's down to like 18.
All right. So he's still getting paid pretty well. He has made 56 million over his career. My thing is, I do not understand, and people take the player's side a lot of the time. I don't think they'll take it here. They take it more in the case of like Trey Hendrickson. These dudes are under contract. They sign a contract. They are under contract. Like, the team does not have to pay you or give you an extension because you had a good season. If they want to extend you, they can extend you. But if you don't show up, that's a problem to me. Like, that's disrespectful to yourself. It's disrespectful to your teammates and the fan base. Like, if I'm Trey Hendrickson too, and I go back to him because, he's been in the news a little more, and this Terry stuff just started to circulate. But like, when I look at Trey Hendrickson, you are making a significant chunk of money this year. You're under a contract. You are contracted to show up to camp and play football, and you're not doing that. Like, why? Same thing with Terry McLaurin. Like, that's your job. You're contracted to do it. You're hurting the fans. If you were under contract, that's one thing. If you couldn't get a contract done, but you are, supposed to show up. And I think if these guys don't show up, the whole last year, their contract should void. I think there should be a clause like, if you don't show up by X day in training camp, you're not getting paid at all. You're off the team.
I have less of a problem. I don't even know if I have a problem at all if it's like a rookie on the last year of their deal. Like Jamar Chase, I was on Jamar Chase's side. Micah Parsons is showing up, and he's still kind of, I know he's saying some controversial things, but he's still saying the right things, and he's showing up to practice despite not having a deal. I'm on his side. Rookies and guys who are like a Zach Bond, for example, who did nothing in his NFL career. Now he's Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Anybody who's getting this massive, massive, massive raise, I get it. Someone like Terry, whose his current contract is worth $23 million average, he wants to go considerably more than 33. So in his mind, he's probably thinking that's a huge increase. But the Commanders reportedly probably in the region of like 25 to 27 million. So they're like, dude, like, we kind of think you're a little better than the contract you had, but we're not going to lock you up, especially because at the end of this deal, you're going to be in your age 32 season. Why would, and that's just a 3-year deal. Maybe Terry wants a 4-year deal, which would put him under contract through 33. Why would we give $36 million to a 33-year-old who's never had 90 receptions or 1,200 yards in a season?
And he has no leverage here. Like, that's the thing. Like you said before, like, oh, we're in our Super Bowl window. Like, the Commanders have a Super Bowl window as long as Jaden Daniels is playing quarterback for them. Like, they are in no rush. Like, obviously they want to capitalize. They're very good, but they had an older team last year. Like, if you start building and putting some talent around Jaden Daniels with young guys, like, you're going to be good for a long time. Like, Terry might not be part of that plan either because he is getting old. They don't want to give money to a 30-year-old wide receiver.
Yeah, his agent is making the argument that him and DK Metcalf were drafted in the same class. And because Terry's only played 6 professional seasons, there's more tread on the tires than there is for most 30-year-olds. And it's like, that's great in theory, but think about the NBA draft specifically. If an 18-year-old and a 23-year-old have the exact same measurements, they have the exact same stat line, they played for the exact same team, the 18-year-old's going first in the draft, the 23-year-old's going 27th overall. It doesn't work like that because you are closer to the point of no return with your age. And is Terry going to have a better season than the one he just had? It's on the board that he's not. I mean, again, in his young days, he never got to 1,200 yards. Last year, he didn't get to 1,100. He caught 13 touchdowns, but I'd honestly argue that touchdowns are kind of variable. It really just kind of depends on who the play is drawn up for near the goal line. And when you have a great quarterback, he's going to raise the floor for everybody. If Terry doesn't play a game this season, then Deebo Samuel, everybody's knocking him. I bet Deebo would go for 1,000 yards if Terry's not there. I bet Luke McCaffrey would get some buzz, or Noah Brown would have a good season The Commanders would still score points. They just wouldn't go to McLaurin.
Yeah, I mean, if you're loyal to your team, I think long term it's always going to pay dividends. Like he was loyal, he's not being loyal now. Again, if he has a good season, he's probably going to get paid next year. Something, they're going to keep him around. But now it's just like we're not going to pay you this year. You're going to probably have a bad attitude, and then we're not going to pay you next year because we know how you're thinking. Like this is the end of Terry McLaurin in Washington.
The thing that's most confusing about it, and we can kind of move off. I know we spent some time hammering this nail here, but the thing that's most confusing for me is let's just say the Commanders want Terry to be around for the next 3 years, which would be through his age 32 season. They don't have to do anything. They have him under contract for this year. They franchise tag him next year. They franchise tag him the year after that. That works out to an average of $27 million per year, which is probably what they're offering him right now. So they have literally no reason to go above that number. Also, what's Terry's leverage here? That's what we're talking about. What is Terry's leverage? He doesn't like their offer, so he's going to sit out his entire age 30 season, try to get paid in free agency at age 31 on a raise with a long-term deal. That's not going to happen. No team in their right mind is going to offer a 31-year-old who didn't play last year $30+ million. And to top it off, like hours after Schefter comes out and says that Terry wants this huge pay increase, Courtland Sutton signs for 4 years, $23 million per year. Courtland Sutton and Terry were born 1 month apart. They're both going to be 30 early into next year. Listen to these numbers. Terry, 82 receptions. Sutton, 81 receptions. Terry, 1096 yards. Sutton, 1081. And then it's 13 touchdowns for Terry to 8 for Sutton. Advantage Terry there. Terry's 13.4 yards per catch. Sutton is 13.3. Both had rookie quarterbacks. Like it's basically the exact same person. And Sutton's going for $23 million. Terry's better than Sutton. I'm not saying he's not, but like you have the
that much better.
You have the DK Metcalf data point over here. Well, now you've got the Courtland Sutton data point over here. And Terry's going to have to understand he needs to go in that middle, get that $27 million, or he's not getting a deal at all.
How tall is Terry?
5'11". You might see him listed at 6 foot. He's 5'11".
I'll take Courtland Sutton at 6'4" all day long.
Yeah, agreed. And Jaden Daniels is a lot better than Bo Nix. Some people, Bo Nix fans, fine, a little bit better. Point being, Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback than Bo Nix, and Sutton still had that level of production.
I think Bo Nix is very good, Grant. Don't the Bo Nix disrespect needs to
Jaden Daniels is a lot better than Bo Nix.
The Bo Nix disrespect is insane. Bo Nix is that pass. I'll tell you this: that pass Bo Nix threw against the Bengals, Jaden Daniels could not have thrown that pass. You do agree with that?
So wrong. Jaden Daniels had a better pass against the Bengals than Bo Nix did.
No, that Bo Nix pass against the Bengals was like one of the greatest throws in NFL history. It was
a beautiful throw. Jaden Daniels going against cover zero, getting speared as he releases it to the back corner on a double move that he threw when Terry was still 8 yards away from the corner. Jaden had the better throw.
No, Bo Nix is probably Bo Nix could be one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. He is that good.
Oh my, you're doing this to make me mad. I know what you're doing.
No, I'm not. He's good. Bo Nix is really good at football, and
he was good. He was 24th in EPA.
Grant, he was playing with, he's a rookie, number one.
So was Jaden, isn't it? That's crazy.
No, I know, but he's a rookie. Like, you got to give him time. Like, but Bo Nix is going to develop better than Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels blew his load as a rookie. Bo Nix still has so much more to accomplish.
Bo Nix played 17 years of college football.
And you know what? Now that experience is going to help him.
Uh-huh.
Jaden Daniels, all this VR headset shit. Like, Bo Nix has got the real experience.
Jaden Daniels winning a Heisman, that's not experience.
No.
In the SEC, which Bo Nix was running scared of.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you've heard, but the Big Ten is actually better than the SEC.
The Big Ten fans are trying to push that narrative.
Did he even play in the Big Ten? Was it the Pac-12 still? Wasn't he the last year of the Pac-12?
He might have been the last year of the Pac-12.
He was the last year of the Pac-12. I think.
Yeah, because they played Washington the year Washington went to the national championship.
Yeah, they lost twice in like consecutive weeks, right? As like a 10-point favorite, I think, against them.
Yeah, I think they only lost 2 games all year, and both times were to Washington.
I mean, Washington still beat Texas that year, but Texas was a Big 12 team. So yeah, he never played in the Big 10. That's my bad. But Bo Nix, in the Pac-12, they sling it in the Pac-12. So Bo knows how to throw the ball.
Well, he also played 3 years in the SEC at Auburn. That didn't go very well.
No, but that's Auburn. Auburn's trash.
If you want to plant your flag on Bo Nix over Jaden Daniels, then we can revisit this in 5-10 years.
I will. I actually will. I'll be the Bo Nix guy. I'll take Bo over Jade. I think they're gonna have very similar careers.
Oh my gosh.
That's what they all say. Everyone's saying Bo Nix is going to be the best quarterback of that class.
That is blasphemous.
People are saying that though. Like
nobody is saying that. There's not one person who's saying that.
Talking about that's all they talk about is how Bo Nix is better than Jaden Daniels.
I would still believe Caleb could be better than Bo Nix.
Caleb can't even throw a completion at practice, so that's going to be a little hard. He sucks. He's as bad as Shedeur Sanders at practice. Also, shout out Dion. Dion's cancer free. We also knew we should have led with that. Shout out Dion. Actually, the shooting. We should have gone shooting Dion.
Yeah, shout out to Dion. A lot of it was a very cool moment because a lot of people thought that he was going up there to retire because on Saturday the report said that he was having a press conference with his medical team, and like we know what's going on with his leg and his foot, and he had the toes amputated, so it was like it's spread and whatever, he's got to step down. No, he kicked cancer's ass and he's still on the sideline. So go Dion.
Go Dion. Yeah, so Shedeur is going to get cut potentially. Did you see that? The news out of Browns camp?
I've seen very conflicting reports. I've seen some people say that like Shedeur is clearly the best there, and I've seen others say that Shedeur couldn't throw a beach ball into the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've agreed with that. But so they're going to cut one of their quarterbacks, one of the four. So who is it? It's
Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, Shedeur, and Deshaun.
Deshaun doesn't count. He's getting a massage, so he doesn't count on that list.
I would think so. Kenny Pickett injured his hamstring, right? Or he injured something. So I'm gonna assume they're not gonna be able to trade him. I would think they would just say, which of Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur do we trust more, and trade the other one.
Yeah, they're gonna. If you're keeping a quarterback, it's got to be Shedeur Sanders.
Even if Dillon Gabriel looks better right now, like is Dillon Gabriel going to play in the NFL? Shedeur has a better shot.
This whole just organization though is down the drain. The fact that they drafted two young quarterbacks blows my mind. When they need help everywhere is crazy.
Yeah, I think they got caught up. It's hard to say they got caught up because they didn't draft a quarterback. They drafted Gabriel in the 3rd or the 4th and Shedeur in the 5th. So like they didn't go Tyler Shuck in the 1st or 2nd round, but they drafted 2 rookie running backs and 2 rookie quarterbacks. And it's like they had so many picks that could have been their time to actually rebuild the roster, and they just did not do it.
Yeah, and I mean Shedeur's value was probably so high at that point that you had to take him,
Yeah, if you're going by which a lot of these teams are, they go by the math value on the points chart, and I get all of that. But yeah, even still, it's a tough look.
I had to move my camera there. I'm feeling it. Back's cramping up. I feel like I'm playing a football game right now.
What were we on before? Oh, Caleb's
terrible. I'm seeing one report out of Bears camp, and that he is not good, and that now pump the brakes on the Bears, like just because they have the Wonder Boy OC from the Lions becoming the head coach, they're not going to be good. That's what I'm seeing.
Well, I've seen a lot of people say that Cam Ward is the least discussed number 1 pick in the draft, which there might be some truth to that. But like Caleb is the bigger story here. Cam Ward could be phenomenal. The Titans aren't going to win 9 games. They're probably not going to win 7 games. Caleb is like, I don't know if we're not talking about Caleb just because it's preseason and people forgot. I don't know if the stories are going to pick up when we get to the regular season. But if he doesn't play well, like, we got to remember Caleb was playing out of this world in college. I'll admit, hand up, I was one of those people who was like, this is the Mahomes challenger because he can do the magical. And he hasn't come close to that.
No, he's not the Mahomes challenger one bit. The fact that, like, again, you want to paint your nails, fine. That's whatever. But like between the paint and nails, the crying in the stands with his mom, the dad bullshit that he was bringing to thing, like all these like narratives around the ownership group, like this guy had bust written all over him. Like, let's be real.
He did. I mean, he did.
There was
You're
too
not wrong.
much. You don't want all these storylines about these quarterbacks coming into the season. Like, you want your quarterback just be clean, like they don't want your dad talking about trying to get ownership of the team, whether that was true or not. Like, all the stuff about how he didn't want to go to Chicago. By the end, he did, I guess. Like, that's a problem. Like, that shows the chips are just stacked against you right away.
Yeah, I mean, he's in like the best situation possible. I mean, DeAndre Swift might split opinions. I think he's still an okay running back. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, they draft Luther Burden, they got Cole Kmet, they draft Colston Loveland, traded twice to improve the offensive line. Ben Johnson was the best OC in the league. Yeah, it's his second season, and you don't want to rush a quarterback's development, but if you are the first pick in the draft with what you have in place right now, there has to be serious signs in year 2. Because if we get to the end of this and he hasn't improved at all, and he's a bottom 10 quarterback again, the Bears already have to start considering if they draft another quarterback next year with how much quarterback talent there is in that draft.
Well, and keep in mind, too, like, he's not Ben Johnson's guy.
True.
He's not. Like, in the end of the day, like, Ben Johnson's like, I took this job because of Caleb. Like, yeah, you're not going to take a job that you don't have a quarterback that you think you could do something with. But in the end of the day, it's no different than the Tennessee Titans. Will Levis, I know he's getting, RIP Will Levis, the shoulder getting repaired today. But that was a situation where Will wasn't their guy. And then they went to Cam Ward. The Cam Ward glazing is out of control right now. Like, I'm seeing so much Cam Ward content. It's great. Like, I wasn't seeing it at first, and now I'm just seeing it, like, all these, like, quote tweets. People like, oh, his ACC style isn't going to work in the NFL. Because did you see the pass yesterday in training camp where he ran to his left? First of all, he would have got his head taken off if that was full contact. That would never have worked. All right. Second of all, this is non-contact football with no repercussions of throwing that ball across your body. If he does that on a Sunday, with like blitzers and all that stuff, I guarantee it's not gonna work out that well.
Quarterbacks potentially going into the draft next year: Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Lenore Sellers, Drew Aller, Nico, Sam Levitt, Carson Beck, Fernando Mendoza, John Montier, Jackson Arnold, Taylor Green, and a whole bunch of others. There is a lot of quarterback talent here. I just named 12 guys, all of whom maybe have a chance to win the Heisman. Obviously, some a lot better chance than others. Like, all those guys are super talented and could all be first-round picks by the time it's said and done. And, Ty Simpson is in there. We haven't even seen him play yet, but if he's with DeBoer at Alabama, he's probably going to look pretty good.
Yeah, Carson Beck. That could be your number one. That could be a top pick next year. I think it's Nussmeier, it's Klubnik, it's Sellers, it's Manning, Aller, Beck. Like, those would be my 5. I think Sam Levitt's going to stay another year. Like, why wouldn't you? Especially if they're good. With this year's loaded quarterback class, like, the next year he could be the number one guy. Especially the same thing with not DJ. Why do I keep thinking Nico? Like, Nico's probably going to stay a couple of years because he needs it, and then those guys will be top picks in those seasons. But why would you leave college football now, unless the new Trump NIL policy really inhibits their ability to make money? But there's no reason to not play college football right now and rush your time going to the NFL. I think that's one good thing about NIL. Kids want to stay a little longer because they are making some money.
No, I definitely agree with that. Just saying from the perspective of, as bad as Caleb might be and as bad as the Bears might be, we're not saying, at least I don't think we're saying, they'll have the first pick in the draft. Maybe they're picking in that like 10 to 15 region. And at that point, maybe Sellers, maybe Aller, maybe Klubnik, maybe Beck, maybe they're on the board. And at that point, depending on how this season goes, it's worth having a conversation. Do I want to get one of these guys? And then maybe we trade Caleb, see what kind of – somebody might give you a first-round pick for him still. Someone might give you a second-round pick. And do you want Caleb or do you want Lenore Sellers in the second? Maybe it's Sellers in the second.
I want Arch Manning. That's it. That's the only quarterback that I'm going to dump my quarterback for is Arch Manning. Well, speaking of the Bears, Grant, we might as well just, let's go through their win total. Let's see how many games they're going to win.
This could be interesting, man, because they've got a talented team, but Caleb's got to pull it together.
They're gonna beat Minnesota week 1. JJ McCarthy. Did you see like Justin Jefferson's comments?
Yeah, I did.
He's like, yeah, he's a rookie. Like, we're not expecting a lot out of him.
Which
That's
it's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign. He's not looking good, and his clips do not look good from practice. So they're gonna, unless they can run for about 10,000 yards that night, I'll take the Bears in that game. That's a Bears hammer piece right there. They're gonna lose to the Lions in Detroit, beat the Cowboys maybe.
I would say lose.
Let's put it this way: between Dallas and Vegas, I think they split those games.
So they're 2-2.
2-2. All right, that's fair. At Washington, loss. Home against the Saints, win. But like we're elevating them too with this. Like they might be as bad as the Saints. That's what they were. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but they're a lot more talented than the Saints are.
All right, so 3-3 after week 7. Their bye week is early. Then they go Ravens, Bengals, so 3-5. New York.
They could lose to the Giants.
If the Giants are cooking, I would take the Giants. If the Bears are going to be the Bears, I'll take the Giants. But let's just say they win that game. So they're 3-3 and 4-5 at Minnesota. By that point, you got to imagine they figured something out with their quarterback. So let's call it 4-6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steelers, Eagles, Packers, 4-9.
Yep.
Cleveland
beat the Browns.
5-9. Packers again. You know what? I'll give you a split with the Packers. I'll be generous here. So 5-9.
6-9.
6-9. San Francisco is going to beat them. 6-10. Detroit's going to beat them. That's 6-11. And like we were pretty generous too.
Yeah, I think their over/under is 8.5. Now there is -160 odds on the under. Like even if we gave them, what if the Lions are resting guys in week 18? So you give that to the Bears. That's still only 7 wins. Let's pick another game. You know they beat the Niners or the Steelers. Well, that's still 8, and they're still under the win total.
Yeah, and that we gave them a split with the Packers. You know, like they probably aren't going to
split with the Vikings.
Split with the Vikings, and you know, again, week 1. If you tell me that the Vikings beat them week 1, I wouldn't be surprised. It's home. It's in Chicago. But if you told me the Vikings win that game, I'm not surprised at all. They're a better team. The quarterback's the issue there.
Last thing we want to talk about, ESPN put out their top rosters with under 25 talent in the NFL. So basically who has the best young cores in the league. Just to read through some notable teams and the notable players. They have the Houston Texans at 1. That makes sense. They got Stroud, Will Anderson, Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter. Yeah, like that, it just makes sense. The Seahawks at number 2 is kind of one that maybe comes as a surprise. They list Devin Witherspoon, Byron Murphy, Jackson Smith, and Jigba as the standouts. Number 3 is the Commanders, and I thought this was interesting because they only listed 2 notable players, Jaden Daniels and Brandon Coleman, who honestly was not great. He allowed like 10 sacks. I think they're only there just because of Jaden Daniels, and they do have a lot of young players that they're thinking maybe some of them hit, but they aren't notable players yet. The Giants at 4, I might move them up because they have Malik Neighbors and Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe Jackson Dart is something. We were just talking about the Bears. They have them at 5. Caleb, Roma Dunze, Darnell Wright, and Colston Loveland. Some other interesting ones. The Patriots were 25th last year. They're up to 7th. They had Drake May, Christian Gonzalez, Will Campbell. The Tennessee Titans went from 22 to 9. Cam Ward, J.C. Latham, Devondre Sweat. The Raiders went from 31 to 11 with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. Again, only 2 guys, but Bowers might already be the best tight end in the league, and Genty might be a top 3 running back in the league by the end of the year.
You know the problem with this list, though?
What's
young
that?
players are in the way we currently operate in the NFL. There's not a lot of development. Like if you got your time to succeed, if you don't succeed, you're out. Like, so the Giants being on here, like they got Malik Neighbors. He's established. I wouldn't even put him as like a young talent guy because he's an established. We know he's going to be good. These teams at the top of the list or on this list in general, the teams with the young talent are the ones that are like, okay, we don't know if they're going to be good or not. where the Chiefs are in the middle of the list. The Steelers are towards the bottom of the list. Like the Steelers are a team that makes playoffs every year. And I know they're not. We don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but they make playoffs every year. They're at the bottom of the list. The Bengals are at the bottom of the list. They have the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You know, like these teams at the top of the list are the ones who we don't know what we're going to get. So that's why this ranking to me, it's like, okay, they got young talent, but we also don't know what they're going to do this season, where I know what the Chiefs are going to do. I know the Chiefs are going to be in the mix, and they're in the middle of it.
They are also banking on potential more so than production in the NFL. Like the first two teams, I don't really have a lot to say. But then again, the Commanders at number 3, Brandon Coleman allowed 10 sacks last year. That's not good. That's really bad. If he was 30 years old, he might struggle to get a contract this year, or he'd be a backup. But it's because he had physical tools and he tested well at the combine and he got starting experience in year 1 that they're like, okay, maybe it's somebody to watch. They have Jackson Dart listed for the Giants. He hasn't played a snap yet. You know, I got no problems with some of these other. Will Campbell for the Patriots at 7. We have no clue. He could be awful. We haven't seen him yet.
Well, and like, you know, Penei Sewell, like he's their blue chip player for the Lions. Like Penei Sewell's only 24 years old, but he's been in the league since 21. Like I wouldn't classify him as a young player at this point. Like he is young, but he's established. Like I think this list, it's like we shouldn't put the established guys on here. It should be who are the guys that, you know, the Drake Mays, for example. Like we saw some stuff with Drake May. We don't know what we're going to get with him. Will Campbell, same thing. Like that's a guy that we drafted. Like he's a good draft pick. Like he could be good. We don't know. But like I don't think Malik Neighbors should be on here. I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs should be on here. We know what we're getting out of these guys. They're young talent, but it kind of goes against the list.
Yeah, I got no problems with that. The bottom teams, they have the Broncos last. They say they have no notable players under 25. Bo Nix, Pat Surtain were under 25 last year, not this year. Their leading talent under 25 is Marvin Mims Jr., who I do think is a solid player. The Dolphins at 31, 49ers at 30, Browns at 29, Jets at 28. Kind of the teams you would expect down there.
Yeah. So the list is good. It's good.
It's good, but it's not representative of what's going to happen this year or in the future, really.
Yeah. So to wrap it up, Grant, Madden ratings, 2 players got screwed. 2 players. If you guys don't know, the 99 overall list came out. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Myles Garrett, Lane Johnson. Probably the worst 99 overall list of all time, because you're telling me there's not a 99 overall worthy linebacker or DB out there, which is insane to me. You're telling me there's not a 99 overall worthy tight end. Crazy to me. You're also telling me that Derrick Henry is not a 99 overall. That's insane. Would I take Saquon over Derrick Henry based on last season? Yes, but the fact that you have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson on the list, you can make the argument for either guy who you would want, but they're both 99 overall. Derrick Henry or Saquon, you can make an argument for which guy you would want. They're both worthy of being 99 overall. And then also, who else got screwed? Joe Burrow. TJ Watt got screwed. Joe Burrow got screwed. You know, if you're just going to say, well, he can't run, so he shouldn't be the guy. Joe Burrow was unbelievable last season with no help at all. So, like, he should have been a 99 too. I think 7 is too little of a group to be in the 99 overall club.
I get it, because you don't want to oversaturate it, because 99 basically means you are a perfect player, and there aren't many perfect players. But at the same time, someone like Pat Surtain had one of the best cornerback seasons we've seen recently, was Defensive Player of the Year, and he's not there. So what's he got to do to get on this list?
The fact that there's no D-backs or linebackers on the list is kind of crazy. There's got to be one that you classify as a 99 overall in the NFL.
Yeah, it's only quarterback, running back, receiver, the glamour positions, and then you've got 1 tackle and 1 edge.
Yeah. There's another 99 worthy overall offensive lineman too. Lane Johnson's not the only one.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue Lane Johnson isn't better than Tristan Wirfs.
Nope. Tristan Wirfs is just hurt to start the season.
Yeah.
Sucks. So anyways, Madden adjusters, get it right. Get it right, fix it.
I wonder how they go about these valuations. I'm sure it's a lot of numbers, but I wonder if there's eye test involved at all.
That game hopefully doesn't suck this year. It comes out in about a week. So hopefully it doesn't suck.
You still playing college football?
A little bit, yeah. I'm trying to. You know, my thing is, it's like I'll sit there and I'll game for like an extended period of time, and then I'll lose or like something bad. Kind of like gambling, you know. Like, you know, I'll be like, I'll sit there all day to sweat something out, and I'll be like, what did I just do that for? And that's kind of how I feel about college football. Like the other day, you know, I was so close to winning a national title. I'll lose national championship, and I'm shit, I got to go back to the beginning of the season. And I'm like, why? I look at my game time, and it's like 24 hours. I'm like, why did I do this? That's how I felt when I walked into the casino on Monday. Like, why did I go to the blackjack table? Because I didn't win, you know?
Well, that was yesterday. You'll win today.
Yeah. So, anyways, Grant, clean 50 today.
Clean 50. We finally did it.
Take us out of here.
That is going to do it for this episode of Ride the Line, guys. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. It helps us out tremendously. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're locked in future episodes. And to anyone who leaves a comment in the comment section, we will be responding to all of you. Until next time, we will catch you all in the next episode of Ride the Line.